Welcome to the Aro Benaiah Show. Today we have Telless Cade, e-commerce deal maker and buy-side professional. Telless bring great strategy and reward deal making experience to help business owner grow and execute smart acquisition. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So tell us, how did your childhood shape the work ethic and approach to risk?
Well, I kind of got into it from accidentally.
Yeah,
In 2023, I was laid off from my hedge fund, private equity fund I worked at.
yeah,
I was working in acquisitions. And so from there, I started consulting and helping a bunch of other venture capital and private equity funds. And just recently, I decided if I can do it with one person, I can make this a form of business. And that's kind of why I'm here today to grow this into a business and help more people, make some money, hopefully.
wow, that's really amazing. So, what inspired you to get into private equity and venture capital?
I grew up from a very no collar. You heard blue collar and white collar.
Yeah,
I'm very much a no collar background. I grew up homeless. I was homeless from like 7 to 11, and then from like 14 to like 15. I lived in a homeless shelter, so I'm familiar with like lack and not having anything.
mm,
And so, as you can imagine, growing up in that environment, I had no kind of idea about finance or anything. I
yeah,
know what credit was. I know credit score from a, you know, ASVAB score. I didn't know anything. I know spreadsheet from a bed sheet. When I got in college, I was focused on being a physician, a medical doctor. But then I took organic chemistry my second year. And I was like, oh no, I can't do this. and so, and so, so I spent a couple of years kind of floating. Then, doing sales jobs, did a little bit in real estate. And so I noticed that I started liking business. I bought a subscription to Wall Street Journal.
yeah,
And I started liking business. I got into Warren Buffett. I got into Ray Dalio. I got into Sam Zell. I got into Reginald Lewis, the people before me who made a name
yeah.
for themselves in finance. And I was like, I want to learn more about this. So I went to business school and got my MBA. And ever since, I've been working in high finance, private equity, and venture capital.
Wow,
And it all started. My wife told me to do a free internship during
wow,
business school, and she was like, you can do free internships. This is COVID, by the way.
yeah,
She's like, you can do a free internship now. No one's going anywhere anyway. I'm like, yeah, that's true. So I did our internship over the summer at venture capital and private equity, and to this day, I get asked about it still.
wow. That was really, really amazing, and your stories is very, very touching. Yeah, a whole lot to actually learn from there. How do you evaluate whether a business is worth acquiring?
Look at a few things. Like, first of all, is this business based around the owner, or is it based around there's actual system in place where you can put someone else there and it works the exact same way? Fortunately, a lot of businesses are just the owner and they keep everything in their head. And so when it's time to sell or whatever, they really can't because they do so much and they can
Yeah,
articulate it. Like you might have an owner who he only pays himself, say, $60,000 a year, right? Like it's not a crazy amount of money, but he's wearing like five different hats. And so to do that business, you gotta hire five different people. That's more than $60,000 a year. So
yeah,
you can't sell that business. Unless somebody who wants to like get a job and like work it themselves. But even then, it's like how you value something like that when the person working it works 24 hours a day, and whereas the janitor hat, he's the CFO hat, he's the bookkeeper hat, he's the CEO hat, he's the
yeah,
tech hat guy. It's too much going on. The business is
yeah,
the owner.
yeah,
So that's one way. Oh, okay, here we go. Another way is you look at something like poor records, poor tax records. A lot of small businesses suffer from not keeping good records. And I'm not saying that's a necessary, do not pass red flags situation, but it's a pause because you kind of know actually what's going on in the business if you don't have anything on paper. It's all a
yeah,
guess. A buddy of mine bought a business recently, and he only bought it because he was an employee of the business. Otherwise, he wouldn't have touched it. But everything was in the guy's head, and like we looked at and he got in filed taxes because he didn't want to pay on the business. So all the money he got straight cash. He never reported it. So my buddy had to report all his taxes now all of a sudden, and it's gonna look really, really, really weird to go from like, oh, I'm making 100, it's all cash.
yeah,
You
yeah.
like a drug.
yeah. There's really a whole lot there, and the fact that you just analyze some of them, it's really amazing.
I mean, really, like it's kind of the first point. Business is not really a business. A lot of businesses are poorly ran. It's not really a business. It's just somebody's hobby that happens to make a lot of money. You see it all the time with like, especially in retail and e-commerce. You see it all the time. People are like, "Oh, I sell lingerie," and you pull out the P&Ls and look at it. It's like, "Oh, it's just a hobby. It's just you who does everything." It's not really a business. I mean, it's a great hobby. I love that hobby makes me $100,000 extra a year. I love that, but you really can't sell this type of thing.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. So, what is the widest, almost memorable deal you have ever encountered?
Recently, I was working on I have a client now. I'm basically kind of their deal hound. I'm helping them find deals, basically, which is kind of what I do on buy side mostly. I look for deals. And we came across a deal that we thought was a good deal. It looked good, and numbers look good, the P&Ls look good, the revenue looks good, everything looks good. We had a meeting. Turns out they bought business from him recently, and this was a copy and paste of the last business he sold them. So he's violating the non-compete clause. So it went from hopeful deal to litigation happening within like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
so, so, so that didn't happen. That's the worst thing that happened to me in a seller meeting. I get in a meeting and all of a sudden he's like, "Hold up, you're robbing us. You're a violation." And it went from like it was 30 minutes of he said, she said, essentially. And then the call ended abruptly. And they're like, "Thanks a lot, Telless." I'm like, "I didn't know. I had no idea they knew each other already." And the thing is, I pre-qualified it. I showed it to him. So he could say at any point in time before that, "Hey, man, I know these people." He's in violation of his non-compete. Never said that. Totally blindsided me. So it's more so I find situations where they aren't really good for me because I don't really participate in actually make sure the deal goes good or bad by doing introductions. And that was a weird, really bad introduction.
yeah, amazing, amazing. I think thank you for the whole lot of things to make reference of. Yeah, podcast record. The business is poorly run, and yeah, and business based only on them. Those are amazing points. So, how do you balance speed and caution when sourcing deal?
I kind of a person where I get go, go, go. And I don't really ask for permission. I keep going until I hear stop or someone tells me stop. But I make sure it's legal though. I'm not gonna do something that's like illegal or I know is illegal. But I kind of go, go, go. And it's served me well in life to like not really like ask a lot of questions, just jump
Yeah,
and figure it out on the way down. On the way down, it served me well in life. I went to college that way. No one told me to go to college. I just say, you know what, I figure it out. And I kind of had a mantra where I'd rather be courageous than afraid because a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you if they knew what they knew before starting business, they wouldn't have started a business
yeah, so true.
because
Yeah,
it's so many things that it's such a hard way to make money actually. And I'm fortunate that I have that skill to be able to like go outside and make some money today if I needed to. I'm very good at that, which is why I'm in my position. But a lot of people don't have that skill to evaluate opportunities, to see opportunities, to evaluate risk. My idea of risk is more so if I pay $1, what's the chance of me losing that dollar, and what's the chance of me getting $2? And if the risk is like, okay, well, you have 7% chance of getting $2, you might have a 20% chance of losing that dollar. I'll take a risk every day because it
wow.
costs me nothing but a dollar.
Yeah,
Whereas, the risk is like not only lose a dollar, you lose your house too. Okay, we're the risk doesn't is not good for me, so I'm not going to take that risk.
yeah, amazing, amazing, amazing. So, what has your experience in e-commerce? Is e-commerce influence your approach of PE slash VC venture capital?
Well, e-commerce is really my time in it. I've noticed that there's a lot of not fraud, but a lot of people lying out there about their numbers. There's a lot of falsehoods being shared. And when I say that, I mean that you'll have to. And the nature of the business is kind of wild west because it's not an American market. It's not a South American market. It's an international market, and you have these people with different cultures, different beliefs, different norms, different ideas coming on and transacting with one another. And with e-commerce, you want to be careful sometimes of like buying business from a country. Like, for example, the one that went bad, I think it was Italy or something. And yeah, they sue, but I'm not sure how to get their money back. It's Italy. What are you gonna do? You know. So that's kind of like really the biggest risk with e-commerce is just because you're in America or just because you're in Kenya or just because you're in London, it doesn't mean that they abide by necessarily the laws in that country. And if they do, you really can't force them to comply. You can't tell somebody in London, hey, that man defrauded me, go arrest them. They're not going to do that over e-commerce that went bad, you know. So that's kind of biggest risk. Another one is you have when it comes to shipping product. A lot of people out there shipping fraudulent products that aren't good, and what they do is they pay reviewers to give them good reviews on like Trustpilot, for example, and that can like really alter it. So you get something, you think, oh my god, it's 5 stars on Trustpilot,
Yeah.
and you get it, and the products, you know, for lack of a better word, is shit, you know. And that's another thing. People are being fraudulent about their product quality. And another is people just like overvaluing their company. Everyone's trying to get quick bags. Everyone's trying to get, which I respect. It's capitalism. I love capitalism. I don't be here by capitalism. But a lot of people are just really overvaluing bags. Like they'll sell business for 4x multiple, or 3x multiple, 5x multiple. But it's really just them and a computer.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. Assess cultural fits when acquiring a company.
I really don't, but what I defer to my clients, they wonder sometimes. Like for example, today we were looking at a maternity clothes e-commerce company with maternity wear, and the biggest culture was how do you, like how like what time period of year do you most advertising? Because you know certain parts, even the U.S., we're outside certain times, we're inside certain times. So if you're inside, you're near your computer more so than you're outside, walking about. Well, sometimes he's like, oh, sometime I don't do as much ads because I know in summertime the trend is people in parts of the U.S. don't go outside that are outside enjoying the weather. Wintertime, he say he ramps it up because people are in holiday season and it's colder and people weren't able to see it and they'll buy it right then and there because they're in the couch channel surfing on the computer. And it's culture fit thing because you know it's kind of like they're trying to hit people exactly where they need to be at to see their ad. That's a good example of that, I think.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. Thank you for that particular analysis. So, what is the common mistake first time seller or buyer make when acquisition?
It really depends. Like I did a deal today, like I say last week or so. The seller made $2 million, you know, and he got profit share out of the agreement. So now he got $2 million, like within like 2 weeks of selling it. He also got profit sharing to where he gets 20% of profit for the next 6 months. You know, he won twice. You know, and that's kind of like really a good example of somebody who made some life changing money off of he had business what 4 years, so you can clock at him making $500,000 a year for over his time. Essentially,
Yeah.
the business didn't make $500,000 a year over that time period. You know, so yeah, that's a good example of somebody who made life changing money over an e-commerce business. Just basically him and a computer dropshipping from China.
Yeah, yeah, amazing, amazing. Thanks for actually explaining that. So, how do family life and business intersect for you in such a high stake field?
It's really hard to do it because I have 3 children. I have 3 little boys. Now I'm married, so and I'm a business owner and whatnot. So I'm 38, and your 30s are some of the 30s and your early 40s. I hear are the hardest decades of your life because everything you do requires all of you. I can't be a halfway parent and get the type of kids I want. I can't be a halfway husband and have type of marriage I want. I can't be a halfway business owner and get the type of business I want. All these things require 100% of me at all time. 100% of me at that particular time. I heard a saying where you can have everything but not at the same time. And I think that applies when it comes to family and business. And that's why it's important to have boundaries. Like on weekends, I tend to like not work as much because that's my family time. Make sure daddy's still around, hubby's still around, and we're gonna go out to eat somewhere. We're gonna go to a soccer game with the kids. We're gonna go see the grandparents. You know, daddy's gonna wrestle with you on the floor. You know, whatever. You know, because during the week, my kids go to daycare from 8 to 6. They get home around 6:30, 7 sometimes. They have dinner. They go to bed at 8:30. I'm not really gonna see them a lot in a week. You know.
Yeah,
See my wife. My wife gets up 5 in the morning to go work out. And so she gets home, she's exhausted. Goes right around 9:30. You know, we don't really see each other a lot during the week. So that's why I make a point in the weekends to try to like not work as much and to be more present. That's my time doing where like I'm 100% a father and a husband.
Wow, that was really, really amazing. And how you actually more like create boundaries around it to actually make it work out. It's yeah,
It
very
took me a
lovely.
while to figure out. Took me a while to figure it out because you have this hustle porn about entrepreneurship, like you have to be working all the time.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people don't have children or families, so you really can't take their advice
Mm,
100%. 100% because
yeah.
Elon Musk, for example, he has 12 kids. He doesn't see his 12 kids.
Yeah.
He has nannies and they with their moms. He's divorced. He's not a good example of how to have a family and be an entrepreneur. And he will
Yeah.
tell you that. He will tell you that on himself. And I think people forget that we use these people as like examples of how to run business, and you really shouldn't. You have more in common with the local restaurant owner in your town than you do Elon Musk. Way more in common. And people are trying to compare themselves to the Zuckerbergs, the Bezos, the Elon to the world, and like you should compare yourself to the guy who owns your local, plumbing company, the guy who owns your local, restaurant or your local car dealership. You have more common with those guys actually, and those guys have found a way to be in the community. They have found a way to be present with their families, and they found a way to make a living at the same time. You should listen to those guys when it comes to entrepreneurship and family.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. So what strategy do you use to maintain a competitive edge in sourcing out deals?
I'm still figuring it out. I'm still figuring it out, but this is part of it. Building a brand, getting out there. I have no brand recognition really. I don't think so. So I started writing. I started, trying to be more present for podcasts, be more active on social media, and that's part of it. I guess eventually I might stumble across something that make me go viral. Maybe,
Yeah.
hopefully, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still trying to figure that part out. And right now, it's kind of just really been like email marketing, LinkedIn outreach.
Amazing. Amazing. So how do you measure success beyond just financial outcome? Tell us.
It's not putting money at all on me. Success is your bills are paid, your family is happy, and you're
Yeah.
healthy.
Your bills are bills, your family are happy, and your heads. That's really
Yeah,
amazing.
because like I said, I grew up with nothing. My parents never owned a house. They just owned a car, and it wasn't a good one at that. It was a raggedy car, you know. And to me, I'm already successful. I'm married. I got 2 degrees, 3 children who are healthy. I have my own home. I'm healthy. My wife's healthy. She seems pretty happy. But
Amazing.
uh, but uh, I think I'm already successful. To me, I'm already a rich
Yeah.
man. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to run it up.
Yeah, amazing. This has really, really been amazing. Just hearing your story just speak a whole lot of volumes. Yeah, knowing what to do at the right time and putting everything in perspective. Also, when it comes to sourcing deals, a whole lot of things you're learning there, especially when you make reference of the fact that, yeah, sometimes I just, yeah, go until I feel like stop. Until there is stop out there. And I think it's a model that is very, very key when it comes to entrepreneurship because there's a whole lot of things you get to learn along the way. Not sometimes you don't get to see what the outcome is going to be until you actually step in. Yeah, it's really amazing. So tell us, how can our audience connect with you? How can they reach out to you in case they have a deal or just to connect with you to hear more from you?
Yeah, I have my website, my company, via Cade Cade co.com. All social media channels, LinkedIn, not LinkedIn. Well, I'm on LinkedIn as well, but Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at DOTCADE. T.Cade is my tag on all my social media channels. Or you can just email me at tc@vacadeco.com.
Yeah, amazing. Definitely the link to your website will be on the show notes for my audience to reach out. Yeah, thank you very much, Telesa. Thanks for sharing your insights on dealmaking, rates, and building a legacy. So, our listener, you can get to just access the show notes and get to see his website and reach out. Yeah, thank you for today. I've been in the Aro Benaiah Show. Once again, it's really a pleasure having you here.
Thank you once again, Aro.